Hey, this is Carmen Taglia, CEO of Roofing Rev Marketing in South Elgin. We only work with roofing companies and we only work with one in each area. Right now we're in my backyard of Addison, Illinois, old stomping ground. Just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on what it would take to beat out one of the top three over here on the Google Map Pack. You can see it's a little bit crowded. You've got local service ads over here. You could pay for these. Right now they're going from anywhere from between 60 to 120 bucks a pop. So just say about 80 bucks a pop for those. You definitely want to max those out and get to the top. These guys are roughly paying about 20 bucks a click. That's getting a little bit expensive. You can tell these guys are probably not even in this area. They're probably national brands that have deep pockets. But here you go to the local three, the top three, the map pack, and you can kind of see who the top players in this area, are. So I mean, at the end of the day, Google's a platform that you can't ignore. When you think about it, like how are people going to find you in your backyard unless they're actually Googling your business name and finding you, or, getting a referral or a traditional method of marketing. Unless they see one of your trucks parked in front of a building, or you got a guy in a banana suit twiddling a sign, whatever. As you can see, all the real estate's up here with these top guys for local service ads, which you could buy, which we would also place you and help you place in those. We can pay to have you over here if you have a bigger budget, more money, more funds. But then getting here, I mean, this is really your play. This is your long-term strategy at the end of the day to get to that top of the fold of Google. That's where a lot of your calls are going to go. So if you click on these guys, I've kind of gone through and opened up. This is the big company, lots of pages, lots of keywords. I think like over 3,000 keywords, tons of pages. They're going to be hard to keep up with. But then this guy is number one on the map organically in the local map pack. I mean, he's only got a couple pages. He's got a pretty decent site. It's done okay. The site itself is technically SEO'd pretty good, but at the end of the day, the overall strategy, it's probably done by a web designer, not so much a marketing company. Not to put anybody down, but I mean, that's probably what it is, right? UltraTop, that's another one. Another small site, boutique site. Looks nice, looks pretty. Not really doing anything to move the needle except for having just a couple pages, maybe about a dozen or so. Here you can see Driscoll. They're not in the top map pack. They spent a lot on their site. They've got lots of pages on they have enough pages on their site. They rank number one organically. They're a big outfit, probably been around for 30 plus years. But as you can see, once again, they're kind of falling short. They're not up in the top. They are number one in organic, which is great. If you look at the reviews and stuff like that, you can kind of see 15 reviews, 26 reviews, 7 reviews. So you're not really lighting the world on fire. It's not like you have to get a ton of reviews to beat these guys out, right? And then Davis Roofing as well. Really nothing to write home about. Just a few pages, not tons. When I put them in my SpyFu and kind of take a look at what they've got, you can see how many keywords that they're ranking for. And this is really not a lot, unless it's this big company where they're, hundreds and hundreds of pages. They're in the thousands. They're national budget and stuff like that, high budget. You kind of see that you could probably knock one of these smaller guys out, especially Flat Roofing Addison, or Driscoll's not up there but probably could get up there, or this guy right here with 62 keywords, or the number one guy only has 77 keywords. So I mean, I really don't think it would take a lot to knock one of those guys out. I mean, even if minimally you get one job a week that you're not getting that these guys are, that you're missing out on. I mean, what's that worth to you annually? I mean, at the end of the day, it's got to be 6 figures, maybe even 7, depending on the size of your jobs, depending if you're residential or commercial. I mean, I haven't really touched commercial on this. That's a whole nother animal, but I just kind of want to go through the residential side of things. So, I mean, if this interests you, if you like to sit down and have a 10-minute conversation and kind of walk through a pretty basic call of how you're currently what you're currently doing about it, and then how many of those you actually want this year. If it makes sense to you, we could talk about next steps. So I mean, if you want to go ahead and book me for a call and see if what we could help you out with, feel free to do so. Thank you much.